What is going on, y'all? The sun is rising shortly, and I am live. It looks like the connection with Facebook is coming on, so that's a good thing. I'm wishing that you can hear me, and the pulsation is going to occur because that's how we do. I was aiming to get on at 7:30, but you know how that goes. So how are you doing, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my global tribe all around the world. I am doing this during the week, and I am aiming to kind of talk to you on a daily basis and just be authentic and believe that you know that I believe in you. And the reason why I do that is because nobody else is, and that's no harm or foul to anybody else. And the internet is interrupting, so pardon me. And that's what I need. I need, that affirmation. As y'all know, I am completely unplugged of what is going on in the world. And that I want you to have somebody on a safe space. I'm going to address this. Give me one moment. Let's see if that works. Still pulsating. Whatever. I'm still learning. And what I need, because I am unplugged, I welcome connectivity. It was brought to my attention yesterday. A family member came to me and they had stated that they saw this amazing video. And shout out to Prince EA. I'll put his link after the live because as it's interrupting anyways, I don't want to interrupt the flow of today's video or live. And it talks about how you'll see the video. I'll put it in the link below. It talks about how disconnected we are, regardless of how we have access to anyone in the world. I have a strong connection with some of you in Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, North America, South America, that I wouldn't actually have connection to before computers, before technology. And you've heard me say this before, it's nothing new. It's all about the immediate access that you have to people. But as immediate as an access you have to someone is as inundated you are influenced, skewed, or supported, either side of the coin, from people you haven't even met. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm truly grateful for the individuals that I have met since I have been completely public and virtual for now. I believe it's possibly going on 5 years, I believe, when the world changed. And what's surprising to me is that I know some of y'all more than I know people within 10 feet of my grasp. Now, let me let that sink in. I know more than some of my family members, my friends, my neighborhood, and my community. And that could either be viewed upon as something positive or not. When was the last time you went out with someone in your community? When was the last time you spent time with your family members other than the mundane routine errands or the grocery store runs, the school drop-offs, the athletic drop-offs, or, to be quite honest, the weddings and funerals? For someone like me, 2020 really opened my eyes to that. I'm I was always outgoing, so that was never a question, but it brought to my attention of how much I value individuals, but not only that, how I value the interpersonal connections with people. You know, the hugs, the fist pumps, just laughing within one's energy right there where I can put my hand on their shoulder or hold their hand or wipe their eyes as they shed tears. That's lost. For some of y'all, you know, you may not know what is occurring is that since I would probably say the day was definitely March 16th, 2020. I was eating my lunch. I was having the time of my life at a job that I absolutely loved, people I absolutely loved in working with. And on my lunch break, I got a notification that we would be closing our doors indefinitely due to what was going on in the world. What? And following that, not only had I lost my job, but I had lost that interpersonal connectivity with people when I got my breakfast in the morning, when people I got my lunch with, or, you know, in the space, in the office space that I was working with. And I think about this as this is titled, this reflection is that, you know, 2/3 of my week, I am sitting virtually right here or somewhere in my house or in my community without interpersonal interaction. Occasionally, I'll, you know, give a shout out or a fist pump to the delivery guy who delivers our packages. But that's it. From 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, till some nights 5, some nights 4, some nights I'll have an interlude where I'm with one of my family members, and then again, not until bedtime, 10:30, 11:30. That's the limited physical interaction I have with people. Now, sure, is it by choice? Of course, because I declared being a global voice. I give voice to the voiceless and empower individuals from going from invisible to invincible, victim to victorious. But it's really taking a toll on me that we have lost interpersonal connections with one another. I'm excited. I'm hanging out with my crew on Friday. It's really awesome. And I get to see my family, but it's always the hustle and bustle of life. How are you handling things? Some of y'all lost family and friends due to the change of the world. Some of y'all had severed relationships because of the world, the way the world is. And some of y'all actually, as you're growing older, as we age in years, people come and go, whether in passing, whether in relocating, whether in agreeing to disagree that the relationship has, you know, shifted. We need people. We need to make those interpersonal connections. And although some of us have limited access in some regions to internet, what happens when fade to black? Like I said, I'm completely unplugged and I can just feel the energy, especially today. Memories to all those affected around the world today. You know, I'm grateful that, you know, on this day, my loved one came home. A lot of us can't say that. And a lot of you out there actually were kids, when this occurred. So I'm just hear this from my heart that I'm here for you, that I am doing my due diligence as a coach, as a speaker, but completely before all of that, before being a coach, before being a speaker, before being a mentor, what you see is what you get with me. And I'm looking at my attire, and it's authentic and it's belief. That's what shifted my gears to really get to where I am today. It's not easy, y'all. I'm not saying it's easy, but I am letting you know that I am here. You ask anyone in my community, personally, virtually, from afar, what you see is what you get. And I want you to know I love you. Whether we are starting a new journey today, had great memories in the past, or together right now, we are paving the way, the trailblazers of what's to come in life. Or if you are in the near foreseeable future with my upcoming events, coming through. So I welcome you guys again. I am aiming to do this during the week to hop on because it just helps me. It gets me it gets me motivated. Give me 1 second. This is really bothering me. All right. Let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. Okay. It's just a helpful for me. I made a commitment and a declaration a couple of days ago, so I don't know how many lives this is on a consecutive basis, but I am going to do that for you because I feel if I don't have the ability to physically reach out and give you a hug, give you support, that I'm going to do it virtually. Again, technology can be a tool or a tragedy, however you look at it. And I'm reminded of, that video, Prince EA is his name. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing it incorrect, but it will be attached in the bottom in the comments. Really take a look at it. He talks a lot about how we went from 3-dimensional to a 2-dimensional world, how we don't have the relationships that we used to. We don't have the inundated, overwhelming eagle eye, if you will, on our lives. Everything is tracking us, everything's recording us, everything's listening to us, everything's observing us. Even if we turn off the camera or turn on the camera, somewhere, somehow, somebody's listening. And so I want to create a safe space for you today with the way the world is, especially in the memoriam of today's events, however perspective you look at it, that do you plan life according to you. And that other, in the words of my great mentor and kindred spirit and coach and fellow adoptee, other people's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. And I take that to heart because when I started this journey being in complete public eye as a public figure, I knew that there were some sacrifices, there were some risks, and I wouldn't change it. And that's what made me authentic, because in the beginning I was under the impression to be a motivational speaker, to be a coach, to be a mentor, you had to follow suit of others before you. But what the beauty of it is that there's principles, there's theories. My hat just came undone. Pardon me. There's principles and theories, but it's your, how would I say it? It's your fingerprint that's on it that makes you you. I'm not for everyone. I learned that 2 days ago, as I mentioned yesterday. I was in an event and there was an exercise we had to perform. And I did me. I was authentic. I was like, okay, I understand what has to be done. I understand what the calling was. And I was me. And then it was brought to my attention that some things were supposed to be in some way, but to that point, I'm also not going to change who I am for recognition, if that makes sense. So when you are going about your day today, when you are looking at the world through your lenses, ask yourself, what do you align yourself with? What messages, what information, now that technology is at our fingertips at the age, even as at the age of infants, toddlers, maybe not infants, but toddlers. I'm seeing them in their strollers with these devices as their digital babysitters. What are we putting into our children's minds, ears, and mouths? Because that's going to dictate the future of what's to come. Be mindful of that. I encourage people, within my family that children don't have a phone until a certain age. And if they have a phone because of emergency cases, it's a flip phone. There's no access to internet, because if there is, then that comes out of their wallet. So we are molding the lives of the future. And having spoken around the world, America, we have to up our game. No shade to America. We are the land of the free. We have great resources and everything. But I think we need to really adopt again the American dream. Building what we have with building what we want with what we have. Because overseas and around the world, they're as young as ages 8 and up, who have the passion, have the drive, have the purpose to persevere and move forward. And we need to adopt that. We need to adapt that. Not all, but look at how we are molding our future, because to be honest, they're going to be taking care of us. So are we putting our best foot forward? Are we making the initiative, and with great intention and attention to what we want to achieve, not only for ourselves, but for those who confide in us? Remember, when you say yes to someone else, you're saying no to yourself. Make yourself a priority. It's not a matter of selfishness. It's a matter of selflessness, because you are able to fill your cup up into the brim, up to 100%, and then pour onto others. I want to recognize Naylor. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for being here. Do what you believe in your heart. You know, my mantra is that of follow your heart, not the herd, nor the hurt. Herd is what you hear, or the masses. Hurt can be something from the past that you haven't faced, or the grudges that you are holding on to. And the sun is truly on my face right now. Let me lean forward a bit. But you have a choice. You have a choice to watch this live. You have a choice to get up in the morning. You have a choice to get out of bed and start moving. What is your choice today? Are you ready to press play, plan life according to you? You know, we want a lot of things in this world. We want a lot of positivity, strength, and ambition in this world. But as you reflect, look at your reflection, and truly in your heart of hearts, ask yourself, am I giving 100% all the time? Am I giving my best every second at everything that I do? Or am I being selective of how much effort I'm going to put in? A couple of years ago, I was in a meeting and they were talking about teamwork and how, if there's, I don't know, 100 people in the room and each person gave a certain percentage, less than 100, we would thrive. And I sat back for a second and I said, well, that's all well and good. But just imagine if all 100 individuals gave 100%. What would that look like? Don't do anything half-effortly, because not only are you not giving the best version of yourself, but you're shortchanging your potential. You're not giving who you really are and what you're worth, and then you wonder why people don't value you. People aren't hiring you. People aren't confiding in you. People don't trust you. People don't want to work with you. Be the best version of yourself, because there's no other. And what would you want from others? When you're in a business and you're hiring people, what kind of individuals do you want in your community? What kind of individuals do you want in your network? What kind of individuals do you want on your team to help you represent your brand and your business? And that's what I'm doing. I'm reflecting today. With all the craziness in the world, I believe you me, I have 0.5% of knowing what's really going on, but I'm reflecting and I'm like looking at my network, my business, my team, and just saying, is this the type of person I want to work with? Is this the type of person that I can trust? Is this the type of person, although they're there with my cheers, are they going to be there when I shed my tears? Think about that. If you are going through something right now, as we all are, medical, physical, mental, emotional, sexual, spiritual, know that you're not alone. Know that I am here to walk beside you without judgment, without dictation, and without lecture. You'll see me just as you see me on the camera, just as you see me in the street, just as you see me on stage, just as you see me in a meeting, just as you see me with my family. Authentic. I've always been, always have, when I shifted my mindset. Because people pleasing others led me to abuse. People pleasing led me to lose myself and get bullied. And people pleasing allowed me to lose my identity during life's adversities. So I tell you, one of my journey walkers said this, or they found it somewhere, and I'm going to use it. Pardon the resource where they have obtained it from. But they say, practice what you preach. Nah. Practice what you teach. And make sure that you apply what you give out. You know, a lot of people say, do as I say, not as I do. Or a lot of people will expect you to be where they are when you connect with them. It's not how I work. You know, I'm no better than, like I said this, I was at a wedding over the summer, I think this year or last year. Time means nothing to me anymore. And the individual, a friend of a friend of mine, we were sitting there at the cocktail hour, just kind of observing beautiful, beautiful day. And they said that they teach this to their family members. And I'm going to paraphrase, obviously. Remember to be the best version of who you are, that you're no better than anybody else, and that nobody is better than you. Let me repeat that. Be the best version of you, that you're no better than anybody else, but nobody else is better than you. And to kind of analyze that for those individuals, because it took me a long time to understand it. As you know, my method of comprehension is a bit annoying to people, but it's difficult. So when you show up, always be and give your best. Be the best version of you. Be authentic. And you're no better than anybody else. So you're not in competition or above anyone in the world. You know what I mean? And nobody is better than you when you give your best. And how do we proceed that, or how do we apply that? It's just showing up. You know, I say always show up, never give up. And so that's what I have for you today on the docket. I figured, I know a lot of media coverage, remembrance, and all the things with the moment of silence with the bells and the constant footage of that event. I get it. But the greats are reminding us energy flows where focus goes. Yes, we remember those who have fallen. Yes, we remember those who have sacrificed. Yes, we remember those who have shifted their mentality and mindset from you and went astray. But let's not harp on it. Let's not, another reel that I saw some time ago was, let's not worship worry. Let's worship wonder. Start asking questions. Start following our hearts and not the herds of what we hear, because we don't know if it's true. Not the herds of what the masses, because they don't know. We don't know if they know what's going on. So I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching. I'll be back here tomorrow. It's not as chilly up here in the mountains. It's a cool, crisp 53. I started at 49 degrees Fahrenheit and it's 53. The sun has really helped. So I wish this was helpful. I wish that you like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel, which is Andrea Mason, From Victim to Victorious. Check it out. It's got over 1,500 videos, something for everyone. And look me up. I'm here to empower and help individuals, businesses break the stigmatism of mental health. Break the stigmatism and break the fears of being vulnerable and asking questions. Going from, as I mentioned, invisible to invincible, victim to victorious, and break the worry mentality and become a true warrior. My name is Andrea Mason, your first choice, your global voice, alumna of Les Brown and the CEO of Press Play, Plan Life According to You, LLC, global ambassador, right here. I always get it wrong. Right here, you can look me up, andreamason.com. I'm on most platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. I've got an online course, Resilient and Rising, where you can take it life at your own pace with worksheets, exercise, and so forth. That's Resilient and Rising, my book, Victim to Victorious, as well as one-on-one coaching. Check out my website and let's connect. Thank you so much. I'll see you real soon. Be safe and be well, and know one love, and love is my religion. Take care.